We're following developments out of Louisville where a UPS crash has happened with a plane, prompting a shelter in place for this area. You can see a live look of it. The Louisville Metro Police Department says multiple agencies are responding to the scene. You can see below that smoke smoldering, the fire still blazing. There's no word on how many are injured or the extent of those injuries, but the damage you can see is very extensive on the ground. Several blocks near the runway on fire. The plane, again, a UPS flight, the number 2976. It was on its way to Honolulu, Hawaii, and it had crashed just shortly after taking off. That information is coming from FAA. Again, this is a UPS plane that went down near the Louisville airport late this afternoon. We'll continue to keep you updated as this story develops.
I'd like to form a motion to name Jason Wigginton as the police chief of the city of Price for the next 4 years. And the resolution 25-33.
Councilman Black?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilman Durant?
Yes.
Councilman England?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Heflin?
No.
What you just heard was a nearly unanimous city council vote last night that replaced the chief of police in the city of Priceville. The firing of police chief Jerry Holmes has stirred up the city of Priceville after the brand new city council decided to replace him with a sergeant already in the department. Former police chief Jerry Holmes, you see pictured to the left, has been with the city of Priceville for almost 4 years. Chief Jason Wigginton on the right started leading the department last night. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us the transition.
The city of Priceville has a new police chief after a city council vote just last night ousted former chief Jerry Holmes, who's no longer employed by the department. According to Priceville Mayor Sam Heflin, the city's new council took their seats last night, just like many other cities in the state. One of their first votes in office was to remove Chief Holmes from the force. The city council passed the vote almost unanimously, with the only no coming from Mayor Heflin. In the wake of Holmes' departure, the Priceville City Council promoted Sergeant Jason Wigginton to lead the police department moving forward. Because Wigginton's currently on vacation, it's not yet clear how much change the police department will undergo as a result of his leadership. But as soon as he gets back, Mayor Heflin says they're going to sit down and figure out the department's policies moving forward. And the change was sudden, coming as a shock and a disappointment to both Mayor Heflin and former Chief Holmes. Take a listen.
Personally, I felt that we had the right chief in place to start with. He's done a lot of good. Every crime statistic in the city is down, and so I thought he had done a good job. So I was not looking for a change, and that's why I was kind of surprised when it happened last night.
It's also not yet clear whether this transition is a result of the aftermath from a deadly crash involving Officer Gary Chapman, but we'll be following this story to bring you the latest. In Priceville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Wow, we've been following this story so extensively since
weeks now.
Yes, since the moment of the chase to the police officer Chapman, and Caleb, there's only one person, the mayor, who said no.
Yeah, it was almost unanimous. It was 5 city council members versus just him. And I was speaking with Mayor Heflin today, and he was kind of saying he was experiencing some shock and disappointment, which I had referenced in my story there. Pretty much thought that Chief Jerry Holmes was doing a great job in the role, and he was sad to see him go. Now, I didn't get a chance to speak with Chief Holmes myself, but they've since replaced him with Jason Wigginton, yes.
Wow, a lot of shifting, and I'm sure we're going to continue to follow this.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Well, thank you so much, Caleb, for always staying on top of this.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, and we'll also stay in Priceville. Here's a look at weather from earlier today. You could see a crystal clear blue sky all across the Tennessee Valley. No surprise there. I personally love the weather. Joining us tonight is Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist. And how's the rest of this evening shaping up?
Yeah, it's going to be a wonderful evening across the Tennessee Valley on the heels of what was a fantastic afternoon where the vast majority of us actually managed to climb into the lower 70s today under a really nice clear sky and a strong lack of humidity. Humidity tends to be somewhat hard to come by once you get to this point in the year, right? It really doesn't have an impact on us through the course of the afternoons. Live look out over the Parkway, beautiful evening. It's obviously hard to tell because it's dark outside, but trust me when I say we're still talking about that strong lack of cloud cover. Temperatures currently sitting in the 50s and 60s across the area, 61 in Fayetteville, 59 in Coleman, 60 degrees in Russellville. We're also sitting at 60 degrees right now in Arab. Now, temperatures are, of course, going to cool off as we head into the overnight, but we're going to be warmer tonight compared to what we've seen the last couple of nights. We're only going to drop off into the mid-40s across the Tennessee Valley. And that is going to make for a wonderful Wednesday morning commute. We're going to warm somewhat quickly with plenty of sunshine, 53 at 8, 60 by 9, 65 degrees by the time we get to 10 a.m. From there, we'll see temperatures climb for the next couple of days. But then a cold front comes through the Tennessee Valley, or a series of cold fronts. We'll talk about it in great detail here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jordan. A man behind bars after hospital staff called police about a possible sexual assault of a child. Huntsville police say the alleged assault happened Friday inside a home where the suspect, Lorenzo Erskine Jr., lived with the child. HPD was notified about the incident after getting a call from a local hospital Saturday, they say. Erskine was arrested and is charged with rape, sodomy, and sexual abuse of a child younger than 12. A Huntsville man wanted for murder has been caught in Wisconsin. According to the Huntsville Police Department, he's wanted because of a shooting that happened on September 16th off Benford Drive. That shooting left 25-year-old Caleb Martin dead, and it also injured a second man. HPD obtained warrants for Tyshawn Darnell soon after, with help from the U.S. Marshals. Hampton was found in Milwaukee. Hampton's charged with murder and assault, and he remains in Wisconsin awaiting extradition to Huntsville. A professional angler charged in a fatal boat crash on Smith Lake has waived his arraignment and pled not guilty. The case centers the April collision that you see right here captured on camera. 3 people died when a boat driven by Flint Davis slammed into another vessel. Davis faces criminal charges, including reckless manslaughter. A circuit court judge signed an order yesterday confirming Davis submitted a written waiver of arraignment. According to the court order, Flint has 10 days to file pretrial motions. A status review hearing is set for March 25th of next year. We're learning that 3 kids were hurt during a car crash in Huntsville this morning. Here's what we know so far. According to officials, the crash happened shortly before 8 a.m. on Macon Lane. One child was in serious condition while the other 2 are expected to be okay. Aaliyah troopers are still investigating the crash. FOX54 will provide more information once it becomes available. A new court date is set for a man in Tennessee who was wrongly deported to El Salvador by the U.S. government. 2 days worth of hearings on whether the U.S. government unlawfully prosecuted Kilmar Abrego Garcia will now take place December 8th and 9th. That'll come roughly a month before Abrego Garcia's trial on a human trafficking case will begin. Hearings were originally scheduled for this week. Back here in the Tennessee Valley, a fight inside a locker room is once again putting school safety at the forefront of Deshler High School, and it's happening just months after football player August Borden was seriously injured in a separate incident at the school. Video of the incident has been shared across social media, showing several students involved while others filmed. Tuscumbia City Schools confirmed the altercation and is urging people to stop sharing the video as they continue their investigation. But the incident has many parents concerned about overall safety at Deshler.
In my mind, as a mom, I was thinking, what if that was my child? Think about it, August was attacked. 2 weeks later, another kid choked out unconscious, and now here it is 2 months and another child. So there's no telling how many more kids in between those incidents that has happened, and they're just terrified to come forward. I do think there's violence here, and I think it's a cover. I think it's bigger than what most people think.
We'll have more on this story on Fox 54 News at 9. Today is day 35 of the federal government shutdown. That ties the record for the longest in U.S. history. So far, 14 votes have failed to reopen the government, including one today that failed by a 54-44 vote. And neither side expects substantial progress on this election day, with key races from New Jersey to California. The impasse for both parties is health care funding. According to CNN, Democrats are considering whether to accept a standalone vote to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies that are expiring, but there's no guarantee it would pass the Senate, so talks continue. In Alabama, Governor Kay Ivey announced she's putting $2 million of state emergency funds toward food banks across the state. This comes as the government shutdown leaves some residents without SNAP benefits. Funding will help 8 food banks, including right here in Huntsville, Food Bank of North Alabama. The Department of Human Resources will also redirect any additional $3 million to the Feeding Alabama network for next year, and that totals $9 million in support. As Governor Ivey's announcement was made, Madison County Democrats came together to prepare for next year's election. During the event, topics such as the shutdown, health care, and workers' rights were discussed as the group rallied for the 2026 election. After the event, Fox 54 spoke with two candidates about the governor's announcement and gave their thoughts.
This is an emergency caused by Congress. This is an emergency that shouldn't have begun with. So it is good that our state is stepping forward. Our state should always step forward to help the people. That should be the job. But Congress's job should be to find a solution to the problems.
I'm glad that some funds are being released to the state because it is unacceptable that so many are going, 40-some million Americans are going without their benefits, especially with Thanksgiving right around the corner. So anything is welcome, but definitely more to be done.
Both candidates added they hope to shake up Madison County next year in a bid to turn the county from red to purple.
Not many people can come visit Washington, D.C. to see the wall.
And so the wall is coming to them, a mobile memorial meant to honor our Vietnam veterans. Fox 54's Logan Alexander Russell gives us a look from Athens. And we take you to the Madison County school system where the teacher is all about pouring into her students. We get to meet her next.
Now, Fox 54's Top Teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
This teacher is described as compassionate, one who pours her heart and soul into her work every day. Listening in during one of her class periods, I see why, and I'm excited to introduce her. Meet this week's Fox 54's top teacher, April Williams from Riverton Intermediate School.
Welcome to
I have always had a passion.
April Williams class.
As I continue to progress through my career, it changes every day.
She teaches English language arts, but she wants to be more than a teacher.
It's my biggest goal is to be their person, to be the person they can go to, whether it be school related or personal, and I want to be here for them so that I can, I guess, kind of make the pathway so that when it comes to academics, they're able to give their all.
Williams has been teaching for 22 years from all over the country.
Perfect. All right, antonym. Destiny, I saw your hand. Go for it.
And she spent the last 5 teaching 6th graders.
I really like to have fun in everything that we do, so I try to make sure that I kind of instill that and push that in all of my lessons.
Some of the lessons are more interactive and engaging.
We actually just got through doing a Reader's Theater play of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And the class that I have right now is my honors class, and they were absolutely amazing. They had all of these different voices from different countries. It was quite comical.
Her principal, April McCutcheon, says the engagement allows the kids to connect.
April really engages with her kids. As you could see, today is Crazy Hair and Crazy Sock Day. And so she was in the classroom. She had spiders in her hair, and so she's always looking to connect with the kids on a different level.
Williams hopes those connections last far beyond her classroom.
it is an amazing thing to have a student, you know, who is having their own children now reach out and tell me what's going on in their life. And so that pushes me to come and give them my all, you know, every day.
Congratulations, Mrs. Williams. Check out the moment she was surprised as a Fox 54 top teacher right here on Fox 54 Plus. Also nominated Deserving Teacher on fox54.com.
It's going to be a really nice quiet night across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Warmer than we have been over the last couple of nights as well. That warm air continues as we head into your Wednesday. We'll discuss it in just a few minutes.
A moving reminder of American sacrifice made its way to North Alabama. The Wall That Heals, a replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, is spending the week at Athens State University. Our Logan Alexandra Russell was at the school when the wall arrived.
The Wall That Heals is one of the most powerful tributes to our nation's heroes, and the Tennessee Valley rolled out the red carpet to welcome it today. A motorcade escorted the monument from the Elk River boat launch to Athens State University, where it will sit for the rest of the week. The Wall That Heals is a 3/4 scale replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. It travels the country for communities to experience. Today, it sits at Beasley Field at Athens State University. The wall, along with a mobile education center, will be open to visitors 24 hours a day starting this Thursday. Community members welcomed the trailer with flags and cheering. Athens Fire and Rescue also hung a flag over the street to greet the display and the motorcade, which consisted of motorcycles and a Jeep club. The traveling wall is a way for people to visit the memorial in a more intimate setting.
Not many people can come visit Washington, D.C. to see the wall. The whole purpose of seeing Vietnam veterans, buddies, family, friends on the wall, to see those that we lost during that time.
The opening ceremony is set for Thursday morning at 8:30. Other public ceremonies include a PTSD awareness ceremony on Friday evening and the closing ceremony on Sunday afternoon. The monument will close to the public at 2 p.m. on Sunday. In Athens, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
And we have some video we're going to pull up of weather from earlier.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
There we go. That's the video I was talking about. I'm glad we were able to pull it up. But yes, this was outside of our station on Memorial Parkway here in Huntsville. And I do appreciate how beautiful and warm it was. It was a little bit warmer today than it was yesterday.
You know, I had a thought because, you know, of course I drive down the parkway every single day. And I had a thought, and this has probably been discussed and I'm late to the game. This is a very interesting part of the parkway, because if I go step out our front door, I can look at 3 different places to get a donut.
Oh, wait.
Uh-huh.
There's Krispy Kreme.
Yes, ma'am.
The other one is?
There's Dunkin'.
And the new one is?
Shipley.
Yes,
Yes.
which we tried and it was pretty good.
You know, it's not bad. I remember there being a Shipley when I was in college in Starkville, but that was my random thought as I was driving down the parkway today while it was 70 degrees and listening to Christmas music, that there are 3 donut shops within walking distance of where I'm standing right now.
Wow, I tried Shipley's for the first time. I heard so much about it. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you
Shipley,
did.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
No, they do have a very good donut, and I am a sucker for a very good donut, which means in about a month or so, because there are 3 donut shops within walking distance of the exact spot that I'm standing in, my suits will probably no longer fit. It's time to see our first freeze across North Alabama, Southern, Middle Tennessee. If you look back at historical averages, typically that occurs late October or early November, mid-October, up across Southern, Middle Tennessee and far Northeast Alabama. But it hasn't happened yet, and that's okay. Some years it happens a little bit later, some years it happens a little bit earlier. But I do have our first freeze in the forecast. Not in the immediate future. We're going to be warm in the morning, Thursday, Friday, and then even as we head into Saturday, Sunday. But look at this. We go from a Sunday morning low of 50 degrees to a Monday morning low of 31 degrees. We're going to begin to see a series of cold fronts push their way on through the Tennessee Valley, and a couple of those cold fronts are going to do a couple of different things. They're both not going to have the exact same impact. For example, here comes cold front number 1. It'll move through the Tennessee Valley Friday afternoon, and then as we head into Friday evening. Now, this initial cold front is not really going to bring a change in sensible temperatures, but it is going to bring the opportunity for a little bit of rain. It's going to bring an increase in cloud cover and the opportunity for some showers and isolated thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley. Then we head into Saturday afternoon and we're talking about cold front number 2. Cold front number 2 will be back off to the west, and on the backside of cold front number 2 is going to be a very different air mass. Cold front number 2 moves through Saturday evening into the overnight, and it's going to be quickly followed by an area of high pressure that's going to hang out over Texas and Oklahoma. The location of that area of high pressure is really important because the rotation around that high pressure is going to be such that our winds have a very strong northerly component to them, which is definitely going to usher in the coolest air we have seen so far this season. But like I said, opportunity for rain comes with the first cold front that moves through on Friday. That rain might linger a little bit into Saturday morning. Otherwise, we're going to be dry through the forecast period Wednesday, Thursday, and then we're dry Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. That's okay. We're not really talking about much of a drought problem across the Tennessee Valley, which is a great place to be in here as we head into early November. Live look out over the parkway, not a lot going on. Really nice clear sky. Temperatures on the warmer end of the spectrum. Many of us are sitting somewhere in the mid and upper 50s. We only drop about 10 more degrees. We've got to drop into the mid 40s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. Bit of a change of pace from what we've seen the last couple of mornings. 49 at 7, 53 by 8, 60 by 9, 65 degrees at 10 a.m. with plenty of sunshine. Above average tomorrow afternoon, got a high temperature right around 73. Would not be the least bit surprised if somebody sees 74 or 75. We stick with the 70s as we head into Thursday, Friday, and then even as we head into Saturday. Now, Sunday, things begin to go downhill a little bit. 60 degrees on Sunday, but then look what happens on Monday and Tuesday. We're going to start Monday right around 31. We're going to end Monday right around 45 degrees. Plenty of sunshine though, so I guess there's a plus side. We start Tuesday right around 30 degrees. We end Tuesday right around 50 degrees, but once again, plenty of sunshine.
Thank you, Jordan. A brand new specialty adoption center opened in Madison today, and it's aimed at helping kids with all kinds of medical complications. The newest chapter of the Advocates for Children and Families, or the ACF, found their home in North Alabama. Program coordinator Jennifer Kelly tells us that medically complex adoption cases, formerly known as special needs, range widely from child to child. As a result, not everyone is ready to assume the responsibility. It's why Kelly says it's critical to have an agency set aside just for them.
There are not a lot of agencies that are specially trained in how to handle these delicate cases. They don't have the expertise, oftentimes they don't have the resources, or they may not be able to assume the liability. We're keeping children from entering temporary situations like foster care, and we're keeping families from reaching a crisis point by stepping in when everybody feels capable of making a voluntary choice. All of us see a vulnerable baby and want to say yes, but we want to make sure that we're finding families that are truly prepared for the long haul.
The center is located on Mission Street in Madison, just off of Huntsville-Browns Ferry Road. They'll start full operations as soon as they get their Alabama state license. What's going on in sports, Nick?
The firing of Hugh Freeze still in our mind here in the state of Alabama. Coming up next, we are going to hear from an Auburn reporter with his ear to the ground. We talk about where Freeze may have gone wrong. Next.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
The firing of Hugh Freeze still a huge topic of conversation here in the Yellowhammer State. Yesterday, I caught up with Mike Gittins from the War Report. He said lack of accountability may have been one of the biggest downfalls of the Freeze era.
I will take you back to Maryland, the bowl game against Maryland in the Music City Bowl. I asked a simple question, and it was, what happened out there today, coach, offensively, with your game plan? The offense looked terrible. And he said, I was busy recruiting, too busy recruiting to be involved with the offensive game planning until the week of. Wow, what an answer. Again, you had players that you have to coach now. So while you got to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. So, I have asked a lot, you're right, about, using that word accountability, who's accountable for what we're watching? And while at times he seemed to say the right things, I am, I don't think that behind the scenes he practiced it in a way that it was like, yes, it's me that's accountable. There were lots of storylines about golf and how he was spending his time this season. And Nick, all that is relevant when you're losing this much. So you don't want us to talk about golf, then win football games. And I'll tell you, we had a former player that told us that so much time is wasted January to July with a coach that this player termed as lazy and unmotivated in the offseason. I had another director of football operations that described the offseason to me like this. He said, it's 1,000 hours of work in the offseason for 40 hours of football in the fall. And if you don't get those 1,000 hours right, you're not going to get the 40 right. And I don't think this offense was spending their 1,000 hours in the offseason right.